Hey guys, it's me Kevin and welcome back to another AFL video, and in this video I'm going to be predicting the AFL fixture between rounds 16 to 24 ahead of its release later this week. Let's see how I go. Hopefully better than my latter predictions. Alright, so we're going to start with round 16, which is the last of the bye rounds. Not sure why I don't just do this one, but whatever. So the two obvious primetime matches for this round is Port Adelaide v Carlton and Sydney v the Dogs. And the Dogs play on the Sunday in round 15, so that game has to be on the Friday, putting Port and Carlton on the Thursday. I've got the Gold Coast Suns here ahead of a Thursday night clash here. I've got the Suns playing in the Saturday twilight slot. I've given them quite a lot of 4:15 games because I know they like those Saturday 4:15 games. And then I've got Essendon Gold Coast on the Thursday night because we've got 3 games at Marvel Stadium in St Kilda Hawthorn and also North v the Dogs. I reckon Essendon and Gold Coast will be on the primetime slot. I reckon the Gold Coast Suns, they're 6-2. They might get some more love in the primetime slots. Essendon, also competitive. They should be around the mark. And then we've got Carlton Collingwood, an obvious Friday night pick. The Giants have got this game against the Eagles on the Saturday instead of the Sunday because, well, to vary a bit because the Eagles, they're going to play a lot of Sunday games. And also, I've got the Giants v Geelong playing in round 18. Their first ever Friday night game at NG Stadium in front of a crowd, I think. So yeah, I think it'd be good to play that game against another premiership contender in the Cats. I don't want the Giants to have a 5-day break, so that's why I put the Eagles game on the Saturday. Carlton Brisbane, the other Thursday night match. Yeah, I guess other contenders, Richmond, Essendon, Saints, Sydney. There's the Bulldogs Adelaide game at Ballarat in the Saturday afternoon. Has to be during the day. I've got them playing Brisbane at the Gabba on the Thursday. And then I've got Carlton Melbourne as a Friday night match ahead of Carlton playing on a Thursday night the next week. Now, round 20, this is where things get interesting because the British and Irish Lions are coming to play at the MCG on the Saturday in round 20. So the MCG will be unavailable for Saturday games. Now, I'll tell you what makes it even more complicated. Well, we've got 2 MCG matches and 3 Marvel matches. So there has to be a Marvel game and an MCG game on the Thursday and Friday slots. Put Hawthorn Carlton on the Thursday and Richmond Collingwood on the Sunday. Did it that way because to give the rugby a couple days to get the pitch sorted for their match. And then there'll have to be a short turnaround. It's either that or they start playing games on the Monday or they start doing double headers or other stupid suggestions. As for the Marvel game, I reckon Essendon v the Dogs. Out of those 3 matches, I think that will be the Friday night pick. So that's one of my almost certain predictions is this match will be on the Friday night. I also reckon we'll have 3 derbies on the Saturday and then the Western Derby on the Sunday. And we've got the Bulldogs Giants. I mean, they've got a bit of a rivalry going on between them. One of the strongest non-local rivalries, I would say. So we've got them on the Thursday. Collingwood have a 5-day turnaround against the Lions in the 2023 Grand Final rematch. You could also put Sydney Essendon or Adelaide Hawthorn or even Geelong and Port Adelaide, but I mean that one's possible as well. But I think because I had Geelong on the Sunday, well, I also had Collingwood on the Sunday. But I think more so because I've got Hawthorn v Collingwood on the Thursday night slot for this round. And then we've got Geelong having a 5-day break against the Bombers. I had to have the Dogs and Giants on the Thursday, so that's why one of these matches couldn't be on the Friday. I mean, this one could also be on the Saturday as well. But I'll leave it there because I think it's a good match on free-to-air television. Yep. And then we've got, Geelong Essendon on the Friday night. This is where things get interesting. So, here is the last 2 rounds, and the first thing that will jump out is Essendon versus Carlton on the Wednesday. What's going on there? Well, obviously this game was from opening round, and that got postponed. In my opinion, if I was the fixture manager of the AFL, I would have had that game in round 16. In round 14, I would have had that match in round 14. And as you can see, Geelong and Essendon have a bye in this round. So I would have put that match, moved it from round 14 to round 16. That's what I would have done. Excuse me, let me turn off my phone. Somewhat about AFL fantasy. Okay. So how did I arrive to Essendon Carlton being on the Wednesday? Right, so there was a couple options here. I didn't want this Gold Coast v GWS game on the Thursday or Friday, so that's kind of where it stems off from. Now, there was two options. This, or I could have had GWS v North Melbourne and Carlton v Gold Coast on the Thursday and Friday night slots, but they wouldn't be as high rating as these two, obviously. And then I would have had Gold Coast v GWS on the Wednesday, Essendon St Kilda on the Thursday. Then I would have had Gold Coast v Essendon on the Wednesday. Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I would have had Port Adelaide Gold Coast and Carlton Essendon on the Sunday or Monday. I don't like the Monday idea. I think Wednesday would be a better match for Carlton Essendon. And yeah, I think the other thing is playing on the Tuesday and then the Sunday would mean that Essendon have back-to-back 5-day breaks. They've already got 2 5-day breaks, so they can't have another 2 5-day breaks because the maximum is 3 5-day breaks a season. The other option was to have Gold Coast Essendon again in the middle of the week, have Gold Coast and GWS on the Thursday, Friday, and then that would mean that the game's on the Wednesday, and then these two matches are on the Monday. Again, didn't like that. I think this is the best option to come up with. What it does is you've got Carlton Port Adelaide on the Thursday, which means that these two matches can go ahead, meeting the 5-day break rule. Gold Coast have a 5-day break and then play Port, and likewise Essendon on the Friday night before they play Carlton on the Wednesday. So that's kind of how I arrived to that. And then, so yeah, I've got Gold Coast Essendon on the Tuesday, which is a 5-day break for Gold Coast. 6-day break for Gold Coast. No. So back-to-back 5-day breaks for Gold Coast, but they don't have any other 5-day breaks, I don't think. So I think it's better for the Suns than the Bombers, who already had 2 this season. As for the other games, and I know round 24 doesn't come out until later in the year, but I thought I might as well do it now, given that I was trying to fix this Gold Coast Essendon game in. I've got Collingwood Melbourne on the Friday night, just like last year. And then I've got North, the Eagles, and Richmond matches. They're not going to be in finals contention. St Kilda might. I mean, they've been somewhat competitive, getting wins here and there. So I don't know if they will, but they might. They have a better chance at being in finals contention. Nonetheless, GWS will definitely be in finals contention, so that's a good early Sunday game. Leading in to the Brisbane Hawthorn game on the free-to-air slot. And that could be a minor premiership, top 2, top 4 battle. Who knows what that could be, but there'll be big ramifications in this game. And then Bulldogs and the Dockers in what should have been the season closer. The Dogs, they'll certainly be fighting for some sort of top 8, top 4 spot. I don't know where Fremantle's going to be. I mean, they're the sort of team that can be anywhere from top 4 to bottom 4. So I don't know what they're doing, but I think it's more likely that these 3 games are going to have both teams in finals contention come the last round of the season. I know these ones have finals ramifications as well, but only from one side. So, just give you another quick scroll through my fixture predictions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Comment what you thought of the video down below. And comment what you think the fixtures are going to look like. Share this video with others. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.